I've been waiting here, listening from the blast of the whistle, and I've had quite interesting time. Leadership. For lack of time, I'll quickly, go into the session. I want to start by defining, what leadership is. Leadership, you hear it's one big word that a lot of people bandy around these days with leadership, leadership, leadership. You'll find out that for you to be a medical doctor, you have to train to be a medical doctor. For you to be, a journalist, a lawyer, an actor. But you also, one very common thing now is that there are no training for leadership. And so that's one basic thing that is lacking in Africa. The leadership is the ability to build confidence and zeal among people, to create and urge them to be led. And so to be a successful leader or a manager, you must possess, the qualities of foresight, drive, initiative, self-confidence, and personal integrity. There are different types of leadership: direct, coaching, support, delegate. You have autocratic leadership. You also have the laissez-faire leadership. That's do it as you like. And then you have the transformational leadership. And then the one that is common here, even though it's hardly practiced, which is the servant leadership. But for lack of time, I wouldn't want to go into all of those, different styles. But I want to talk about us. And I always like using myself as an example. I lost my dad at a very young age, at age 8. And so I grew up with my uncle, and we're quite a lot. And so, I would repeat that towards the end. And so I told myself from the word go that, I needed to be different. And living with an uncle who could, he had a lot of other people to cater for. So the first thing I learned was to look out for myself. And if you remember when I told you about, the qualities of a leadership, integrity stands out. And you must first and foremost, be able to discover that integrity and what integrity will work in there. And then I key into songs. I like the fact that, we're using song to teach a lot of things. I like the rap, that I just played. And so I keyed into song. There's this song by Majed Fashek. I can't give up the fight until I know the reason why. I can't give up the struggle because I am aware of the battle. A lot of people give up the struggle since they are afraid of the battle. A living dog is better than a dead lion. And so I decided, to be that living dog instead of being a dead lion. And so what that did for me was, while leading, at some point, learn when to say no and learn when to say yes. Learn when to carry a lot of people along. Learn when to quit. Because sometimes, a lot of people die, trying to lead others because they don't know when to quit. And another song that's very instructive for me that also had helped me, come along all this way is the fact that is Whitney Houston. Sometimes these days I listen to the song that young people, my kids listen to these days. I laugh. It's your time, but most of them are not inspiring. And so if you listen to inspirational songs, they will help you build that self-confidence and give you the opportunity to build your integrity. And one of them, which is very instructive, is also the song by Whitney Houston, The Greatest Love of All. The greatest, he says, I believe in the children of our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easy. Let the children laughter remind us how we used to be. Everyone is searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone to fulfill my needs. The world became like a lonely place to be. And so I learned to depend on me. So I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow, because if I fail, if I succeed, at least I live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is that which lives inside of me. And so that's dignity. For you to first and foremost have it, you must learn to love yourself. And so once you're able to discover that love that is inside of you, you can't, like we say in law, you can't give what you don't have. Nemo dat quod non habet. And so if you have it, you'll be able to give it. And that now brings me to that part. Somebody asked about, those questions about the characteristics of leadership that I talked about, transformational, carrying people along. And all of us today, we have it inside of us. We have that, greatest love of us, of all, inside of us. You there also, you have it. I have it. But one big thing that is missing is the fact that we are unable to discover it. Nyota talked about social media. You want people to endorse the fact that you are good, or you crave for endorsement. And that's when you believe that you have it. You first and foremost need to understand that it's in you. Whether people see it or not, it's none of your business. Once you have it, at some point, people will see it. I do some advocational videos. And the first few videos I did, nobody watched them. But it didn't stop me, because I knew I had a message to give. So I don't bother. When I post videos, I don't bother going back to check how many people liked it or how many people don't like it. But today, I can post videos and you have thousands and thousands of people arguing and commenting on it. If I had waited for that endorsement, for people to endorse it, or that the fact that people didn't like my videos on YouTube or on Instagram, so it discouraged me, I wouldn't have been, doing the same thing that I'm doing today. And you have, all of these people, having to converge on your Facebook page, on your Instagram page to talk about, the issues that you have raised. So no matter where you are, like in my class 2 in secondary school, there's this poem I always recited to myself: I must succeed, I will succeed. Determined, resolute, sharpened by the pain of not succeeding, I must succeed, even if it is tomorrow. So when you tell yourself today, I am that leader that I want to be, I must succeed in whatever I do. If you remember also the song of, I don't know if many of you know it, the song of Aru Kelly, I'm the pine up in the sky, I'm the peak on mountain high. I have made it. I'm the world's greatest. And then it talked about, I'm that little bit of hope with my back against the wall. I can feel it. I am the world's greatest. So you need to tell yourself this thing, that I have it, I can give it. I will never give up, no matter how far how low I fall. And I want to quickly leave you with the words of Martin Luther King Jr. And he said, whatever you do, like Chisom talked about, being the best of yourself, whatever you do, even if you are a street sweeper, sweep the street so well that when you leave, let it be remembered that here lies the remain of a great street sweeper, that he swept the street so well that, after his demise, nobody could sweep the street that well. And so we all have these things. The problem is we want to be very selfish with it. Or in some cases, we want people to endorse it before we know that we have it. If only we all remember that we are what we make of Nigeria, we are the leaders that we want to see in Nigeria. Nigeria will be greater than the way it is today. Not too long ago, I talked about, SARS, when the issue of SARS was, the rave of the moment. And the title of my video then was, We Are All SARS. Because you can condemn that other man, that your neighbor, who took a bath and refused to clean the bathroom. But at the end of the day, you find out that you clean the bathroom, but you refuse to clean the front door. If you clean the front door today without having to look at somebody to do it, you'll be shocked that the very next day, another person will do it because they know that you have consistently done that. If you beat the traffic light without you minding whether other people are there, tomorrow you will see people will beat the traffic light. But when you stop at the traffic light, the vehicles behind you will automatically stop. Or you tell your parents, Daddy, the red light is on. And so why don't you stop? He would stop. And you've taught him one small leadership, message that he would not, he will be shocked. Because for him, he didn't expect that to come from you. So we are what we will make of our country. And you can be a leader irrespective of the position you find yourself, whether you're among two people, whether you're among three persons, whether you are that's yourself inside the room. And lastly, my professor B.I.C. Joma used to tell us, the you in you is the you that makes you the you are. And so if you decide to exude positivity, it is positivity that will go around you and you grow up to be a fantastic leader. But if you believe you do not have it, no matter how far you go, you will never have it. So the first step should be, tell yourself, I must do it. Irrespective of what happens, I must, allow people to see that light that is in me. Thank you.